Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for Laguna Seca with the Honda S2000. Let's get this started. Go ahead and bring yourself to the right as you'll be using the 3 marker or the line that accompanies it as your first braking point. Brake as much as you can, then once you push the first apex, ease off the brakes and get the car to rotate. You'll be accelerating before you hit the apex right here, and for most of these turns, you can use this red curb that's sticking out as your accelerating point. Your next braking point is in between the 2 and the 1 marker on the left. You'll be using some amount of braking and be very patient on the throttle. Just get the car to rotate, slowly accelerate so you don't end up hitting the dirt. Start to turn in before you reach the 1 marker and you'll be easing off the throttle, and when you reach the sausage curb, that is when you can slowly start to accelerate. Once again, minimize your contact with the dirt. Brake in between the 3 and the 2 marker. Brake hard for a moment, then ease off of the brakes to get the car to rotate. When you reach the sausage curb, start to accelerate. You want to try to be a bit aggressive on some of these turns to maximize the car's potential. Now for this turn, you'll initiate a mini slide. Brake in between the 2 and the 1 marker, but you'll be using a tiny amount of braking, just enough to get the car to rotate around the sausage curb and then quickly get back on the throttle. For the corkscrew, you will start to brake at the line just before the 3 marker. Brake as much as you can, then for the first apex, just focus on getting the car to rotate. So once you get the car to rotate, once your car is pointing towards this empty patch where the circle's highlighting, you're pretty much already pointing at the next apex. So once your car is pointing towards here, that is when you start to fully accelerate, and you'll end up riding on the red and white curbs as you see here, and just focus on getting your car towards the right side of the track. Then ease off the throttle for this next turn. Just be very patient with accelerating. Then once you reach the 2 marker, that is where you use a little bit of braking. Just try to get the car to rotate around this turn. Be a bit aggressive when you start to fully accelerate. For the final turn, use the 3 marker on the right as your final braking point. And once again, just focus on getting the car to rotate. When you reach the end of the sausage curb, that is when you can start to fully accelerate and you are good to go. Let's go ahead and finish this lap, and then we'll quickly talk about the strategy. For this race, you don't need to worry about going to the pit stop at all. The tire wear rate is nothing to worry about, and the same can be said for the fuel consumption rate. So you really want to just focus on getting strong, consistent times, and whenever you're battling someone for position, just try to strike fast, make a very clean, quick pass, and start to build a gap between you and the opponent behind you. You don't want to spend too much time battling out with someone else because you end up slowing down a lot, and if you're trying to get to first place, then the chances of you getting closer to them starts to go down. Another thing is to just try to limit your contact with the off-track area, so I'm talking about the dirt in this case, because your tires get very dirty if you get your tires exposed to them, and that will really limit your ability to go fast through these turns. Avoid hitting the sausage curves, as that could potentially screw you up. It could potentially cause your car to lose control and ruin your race. And one last thing is to just try to avoid getting penalties. Like, sure, you might think that getting a half-second penalty is no big deal, but when there's a group of angry S2000 cars hanging out right behind you and you have to serve that penalty, then you're going to end up having to battle all of them, and it's going to cause you a headache. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this guide. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA, wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.